All right, good morning. I'm Kevin Torgerson with the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office, and with me up here today is Captain Tim Parkin from our office, Superintendent Selfers from Stewartville Schools, Ryan Ravenhorst with the school board, and Mayor Jimmy John King from the city of Stewartville. Well, we'll just get right into it. Since the tragic incident on Friday that took place in the parking lot of Stewartville High School, our office has been working tirelessly to understand what exactly occurred. It is important to stress that this is still an ongoing and very active investigation, meaning that we will still not be able to release some information at this time. But we're trying to be as transparent as possible. Additionally, we are continuing to support the Stewartville School District in every way possible. The victim of the shooting is a juvenile male from Stewartville who is a teammate of the Stewartville High School wrestling team. He continues to be hospitalized from this incident. We are not identifying him at this time, but with the permission of his family, we can report that as of Sunday evening, he is still in critical but stable condition. The shooter has been identified as Logan Moyer, M-O-Y-E-R, a 19-year-old male from Stewartville. Moyer was a former student of Stewartville and graduated in 2024. We are confirming that Moyer was not a coach, a volunteer, or a paid staff member of the wrestling program at Stewartville. He was an athlete of the wrestling team while he attended Stewartville schools. An autopsy was performed on Friday afternoon by the Southeast Minnesota, by the Southeast Minnesota Medical Examiner's Office. Although we're still awaiting autopsy reports, the results so far are consistent with suicide. Our office would like to thank the Stewartville community, the Stewartville school system, and everyone who has offered their support throughout this community and beyond during this difficult time. We want to remind everyone that those affected by this event, both sides of this event, may experience grief in different ways. We ask everyone to please remain respectful and offer support to Stewartville students, our athletes, the faculty, and the residents. Please keep in mind that those affected by this tragedy may need space and time to process such a devastating event. I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Selfers for a statement.
Good morning. Belinda Selfers, Superintendent at Stewartville Public Schools. The Stewartville School District and our communities continue to grieve following the tragic events that have deeply impacted our students, staff, families, and communities. We acknowledge the profound devastation and trauma that many are experiencing, and we share in the pain and heartbreak that this tragedy has caused. We are immensely grateful for the overwhelming outpouring of support, care, and concern from our communities and beyond. The kindness shown through messages, presence, and acts of compassion have been a powerful reminder that we are not alone during this difficult time. As students and staff return to school today, our highest priority remains their safety, well-being, and emotional health. We are fortunate to be supported by the Olmsted County Sheriff's Department, the Southeast Minnesota Crisis Team, Zumbro Valley Health Services, the Stewartville Ministerium, our district leadership team, our counselors, social workers, wrestling coaches, the Stewartville Wrestling Booster Club, and our entire school staff. Together, we are committed to ensuring that our schools are places of care, understanding, and stability. As we return to school, we will focus on providing space, flexibility, and support for students and staff, and to address any concerns that they may have. We are also coordinating efforts to support families who have been directly impacted by this tragedy and whose hearts have been broken, ensuring that they receive compassion, resources, and ongoing care. While we stand together as Tiger Strong, we continue to ask you to lift us up in prayer for courage, strength, and healing in the days and weeks ahead. It is through unity, empathy, and collective support that we will continue to move forward and take care of one another.
Okay, if you have a few questions, we'll take them. But again, I just have to caution you, there's not much else that can be said. This will very likely be our last formal statement as a group. The investigation, as I mentioned earlier, will continue. Whatever updates we can share, we will share. But again, some of these things take a very long time, and just ask you for your understanding of that. So if you have a question, I'll try to answer what I can.
Logan was a former wrestler at Stewartville.
Correct.
And he graduated in 2024.
Right.
So was he on the team for all 4 years in high school?
That I don't know.
I don't have that confirmed.
No idea.
Is there anything you can tell us about what's next for the investigation at this time?
Well, the investigation will carry on. Obviously, there's technology that's involved in everything we do, and some of that can, when we dive into that, that's potentially places where we might find what the biggest question of people have is why. We don't know why, and we may not ever know why. Obviously, one of the participants involved is deceased, so we obviously can't do that interview. So, yeah, technology, and then just sorting through all the video that may be available to us. The school has a very good video system, and then sorting through interviews that were quite extensive, and there was a number of them on Friday and through the weekend. So. That's usually the next steps in any investigation, and all of that, again, as I mentioned, is takes a lot of time to dissect and figure out the best that we can as to what happened and potentially the why. But again, the why, we may not ever be able to release some of that information. Obviously, we are dealing with a juvenile here. As the victim here, and we have to respect that as a juvenile. There's some information about that we are not going to release. So, and then on top of that, as I mentioned in my statement and alluded to as well from Superintendent Selfers, we have two families here that are part of our community, and we have to find a way to help and support them. And sometimes putting additional information out there doesn't help at all in what they're dealing with. So we have to honor and respect that too.
I guess what to say with the relationship between the juvenile and this one?
I don't know, other than that Mr. Moyer was a participant and was on the wrestling team. Any further connection, I don't have any information at this time.
Would they have been on the wrestling team at the same time at any point?
That I can't say. I really don't know.
Were there any reports of bullying of Logan?
I don't have any information on that at this time.
And I know today is the first day back to school for students. Have you spoken to any parents in the community or any students at all?
We've communicated with families and shared with them what our plans are for today. There have been parents and students who have reached out, and we've responded to their inquiries for request and support as needed.
Can you talk a little bit about the resources that you have available for students today, please?
Today we have chaplains from the Olmsted County Sheriff's Department. The Southeast Minnesota Crisis Team is on site. We have support from Zumbro Valley Mental Health Services, and we also have our own counseling and social work staff that are on site. Several school districts in the area have offered to send their counseling staff to support us, so we are well-staffed in the area of providing support for our students and our staff for emotional and mental health and well-being.
To confirm, Logan was no longer on the wrestling team, right? Because he graduated?
Correct.
And he wasn't a volunteer coach?
No, he was not a volunteer coach. He was not a paid coach. He had no connection in that way with the team.
Just to better understand, how many students attend the middle and high schools? Do you know?
Our attendance at the middle school and high school, our enrollment is about 1,100.
Do we know how the wrestling team will be proceeding with the rest of the season after this incident?
This week is still tentative on what their plans are. They will compete for the remainder of the season, but this week is still tentative on what the plans would be.
You mentioned using technology and video and going through interviews and whatnot. Is it possible for the sheriff's office to, will you be like looking through social media or doing any like investigation into their like electronic communications or anything like that?
We'll look at every aspect that we normally do in any investigation, so it includes all of what you were asking about.
At this time, I know that you said the investigation is still ongoing. Do we know why Mr. Moyer was in the parking lot to begin with?
No, no idea.
It was reported last week that none of the, or if I remember correctly, none of the other wrestling team members witnessed or saw directly what had happened. So having said that, are you able to comment on where the shooting took place in relation to the bus and the rest of the team?
The bus was in the parking lot, and most of the team was actually on the bus or in the school. It was a wrestling program. I was a wrestler growing up. One of the biggest concerns you have is what you weigh, because you got to make weight to wrestle. And so there was a lot of that activity going on between the bus and in the school with some of the coaches at that time.
So
And then the incident happened in the parking lot to the south of the school.
Okay. On the other side of the school?
No, in the same parking lot on the south side of the school.
How far away would they have been, roughly?
100 yards, 200 yards.
Was Moyer still living in the community? I believe it was mentioned he graduated.
Yes.
You said that there's probably some information that you might not be able to reveal. Do you know if you're going to be able to reveal the victim's age or name or anything?
At this point, we're really working through that kind of revelation. Mom is, and this is a very private family, and obviously they're dealing with an incredible event at this point. So that may be something down the road, but that's not really a key factor at this point. He's a student. Obviously, he's a juvenile, so we'll leave it at that at this point.
There was a rumor at one point that there may have been a restraining order against Mr. Moore.
No, not even close.
Okay.
Put that one to bed. That was not a factor at all.
Okay.
All right, thank you.